Good morning, Andrew at Tabletop Farms. Well, here we are, the 13th of January, Friday the 13th. We are seeding tomatoes. So we've got all of our tomato seeds for the year in, except for our biggest variety that we're doing this year, which is a determinate tomato, and those are being shipped as we speak. So we should have those by Monday. Those will go in the trays here on Monday, and we'll get those started. I'm going to show you how we're doing our trays here, but first, Lisa's out here doing the greenhouse. So we're going to walk out here to the greenhouse. She didn't know I'm coming, but we are temporarily, she's having problems. We are temporarily running hot water from the shop to the greenhouse. We are replacing this greenhouse, as you've seen some videos. I'm going to put a video out on that later today, I think. We've got rock in there. We're ready to put the bows up and get that ready to go. But we're running water from the shop. She had the hose out here already, and it looks like it was iced up. So we've been really nice. Got a leak in the hose. It's been really nice here, but yesterday and today is just getting above freezing, and then we're gonna go back to 60-degree weather for a while. So she's working on this. It's just trickling out, but she's got hot water, warm water in there, so it'll thaw here before long. We have a hot water here in this little greenhouse, but it's not very efficient. So by the time we run water from outside the hydrant and warm the water up, then and the reason we do this is the water that we're going to get out of these hydrants is, I don't know, 40 degrees, and we're maintaining the greenhouse at 60 degrees, and so we want our water to be at or above 60 degrees so that we're not shocking the plants and shocking the soil and slowing growth down, because these babies, the high tunnel's ready, we're ready to get these in the ground. So that's why we're not doing that. And this is the hot water here we normally would use, but the temperature difference for it to raise is, it's an electric hot water heater, and it's just not very efficient, and it doesn't get the water up high enough. So right now what we're looking at is, this is all spinach here, and then most of this is lettuce, Salanova, and then we have this table over here, same thing, Salanova and spinach. So we're not at capacity yet, which is a good thing, because we're getting tomatoes seeded down. What are these right here? Okay, did you just take these out of the germ chamber today?
Yes.
Okay, so yesterday these came out of the germ chamber, and so okay. Well, I'm not seeing very many sprouts on germination after that, but we are following what we're supposed to be doing and taking them out.
They take a few more days after you take them out
to germinate, or to
pop out.
yeah. Well, I'm seeing some here, so there's a little guy right there. So these are our microgreens. This would be the salad mix right here, and it's looking pretty good. Pretty slow, but that's okay. This is dill, and then these two are radish. Yeah, I was about to forget that. So the radish is looking pretty good. I'd look down in there, but it looks pretty clean. We don't have any dampening off, so I don't think there's any mold issues in there. My hands are dirty, so I'm not going to touch them right now. But that's what's the greenhouse. So we've got, right now we'll seed up 12 flats of, so about 100 and, no, more than that, sorry. 600. About 600 tomato plants is what we're going to seed up today. And I've got microgreens, pea shoots and sunflowers going in, and then we're going to go ahead and get some radish. I got cilantro in last night, microgreens, and then we're just kind of playing around with the microgreens, seeing all that stuff. So, you look cold.
It's chilly out.
That's Missouri. Wait for tomorrow, right?
True.
All right, so I'll take you in and show you how we're doing our pots. We've done a video on this in the past, but since I'm doing it right now, I'm just going to kind of show you. So we use a drop seeder for, I would say, 90% of our crops. Lettuce, spinach, all that stuff gets a drop seeder. So it's pretty quick and easy. Tomatoes are not. That is all done by hand, and that's just what it is. So it doesn't take very long, but that's how we do it. We seed by hand on the tomatoes, and yeah. So we're back here going back here to the shop. All this is going to get transferred to the new greenhouse when we get that cover on. So we've got plastic to put on that greenhouse, and I'm hoping by the end of the day that's gonna happen. So I'm gonna set you up here, kind of show you how we're doing this. All right. Sorry about all the moving and shaking here, but I don't want to knock you over either. All right, so 50 cell trays. And literally all we have is our potting mix. Again, one thing you want to do with your potting mix is 90% of the time you get potting mix, lots of times it's dry. But you want to be able to, you don't want to be able to squeeze water out of this, but you do want to be able to make a mold out of it, kind of form it. And that still should be able to just break up and do that. So don't be afraid to get some water in there. If you get it too wet, just add a little more potting mix and mix around, and that'll soak up the moisture. But all we're literally doing is I'll scrape this to one side, and I am throwing this in there. This shouldn't take very long, and rubbing that in there really good. And voila, clean the sides off. And that's all there is to doing a pot. Now you can drop those. We don't typically, just kind of bounce them on the table just a little bit. That's something you can do to settle that, make sure there's no low spots, but we found that that's pretty unnecessary, and sometimes it compacts that soil maybe a little too tight. So literally what we're going to do then is we're just going to take an empty tray here and set it on there fairly lightly. Don't have, lots of times I make a dibble board for this or something, but kind of unnecessary. Again, I can feel that one's way down there. Your corners are where you're going to be low on your soil, generally speaking. And so I'm literally just going to take this and put a little bit more soil in those corners. Everything else is good. That's ready for seeding. I'll show you what we're doing here. After we throw the seed in there, we are using vermiculite. You can get this in a big bag, very inexpensive. And you do want to be kind of cautious. This stuff is really, really dusty. It's really, really fine and lightweight. But literally, you put your seeds on there, and then you spread that vermiculite right on top and water right in, and that's what it's going to look like. So those are put in there yesterday, so those are going to come out tomorrow, and that's what we're doing this morning. So we've got these 12 trays to do, and then we're going to do some peppers. Peppers we're going to do in some smaller trays, 72 cell trays, and then I think we have chard to do in some 200 cell trays. So that's what we're doing this morning. Gonna be working on the website a little bit this afternoon, and then all afternoon after lunch is greenhouse. So I'll pick up another video there, kind of show you the progress we're doing there, and do some videos on how we're doing that. So I appreciate you guys joining us, and I'm gonna get to seeding these trays. So till next time, I can't speak this morning either apparently. So till next time, pull up a chair and welcome to Tabletop Farms.